Yet, even as we bring our resources to bear on this emergency, we need to summon the tremendous generosity and compassion of the American people. I want to thank the many Americans who have already contributed to this effort. I want to encourage all Americans who want to help to go to whitehouse.gov to learn more. And in the days ahead, we will continue to work with those individuals and organizations who want to assist this effort so that you can do so. Finally, I want to speak directly to the people of Haiti. Few in the world have endured the hardships that you have known. Long before this tragedy, daily life itself was often a bitter struggle. And after suffering so much for so long, to face this new horror must cause some to look up and ask, have we somehow been forsaken? To the people of Haiti, we say clearly and with conviction, you will not be forsaken, you will not be forgotten. In this, your hour of greatest need, America stands with you, the world stands with you. We know that you are a strong and resilient people. You have endured a history of slavery and struggle, of natural disaster and recovery, and through it all your spirit has been unbroken and your faith has been unwavering. So today you must know that help is arriving. Much, much more help is on the way. Thank you very much, everybody.
President, will you travel to Haiti?
President Barack Obama speaking very much as the Commander-in-Chief.
Now we will continue to update you regularly. The minister spokesperson will speak with you through video at noon, and John Holmes will brief you this afternoon again. And I'm very grateful to all of you, to the media, for your very keen interest and communicating this to the worldwide. And we really need your support and cooperation at this time. I am also very much gratified to many volunteers, civil society members and journalists who are on the ground working together with the United Nations and international community members to help this overcome this crisis. Thank you very much.
Any update on the status of your representative Al-Hadi Al-Nabi and Mr. De Costa, please?
Unfortunately, we have not yet any confirmed news about the safety of Eddie Anabi. We will continue to do that. I hope he is okay. I hope. I sincerely, I pray for him. Yeah.
The UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon with an update on the situation in Haiti, being asked there about the head of the UN mission in Haiti, who was known to be inside the UN headquarters. No information is what the Secretary-General said. He did say earlier that 150 UN staff are unaccounted for. 100 were in the UN headquarters, which is the Christopher Hotel. Half of that hotel has collapsed. He described the situation in Haiti as heartbreaking. It is, he said, a major humanitarian disaster. It is 11 a.m. in Haiti, where almost 2 days on, the scale of the earthquake catastrophe is now becoming clearer. The Haiti Red Cross calculates that up to 50,000 people have been killed. One aid agency estimates up to 2 million children need urgent help. Another says it is overwhelmed by the scale of the humanitarian challenge. There's a desperate shortage of doctors and medical workers. In the last hour, President Obama described the disaster as devastating. He ordered that Haiti is now the top priority for all US departments of state because of the scale of human disaster and the urgency of the coming days.
Even as we move as quickly as possible, it will take hours, and in many cases days, to get all of our people and resources on the ground. Right now in Haiti, roads are impassable. The main port is badly damaged. Communications are just beginning to come online, and aftershocks continue.
We'll be live in Washington shortly. We start our extended coverage here on World News Today with the BBC's Matthew Price, who is in Haiti.
This was the moment when the earthquake hit. The moment when a city held its breath. A moment that destroyed so many lives. In places there is barely anything left of this city. And so far the people are largely having to cope on their own. For some, the only hope is to dig with their bare hands. As with every earthquake, this is a race against time. Large parts of this country are inaccessible at the best of times, and so it's proving very difficult to get any accurate figures on how many people have been injured, how many people have been killed by this massive earthquake. But there is one certainty, and that is that Haiti needs international aid, and it needs it very quickly indeed. Many of those who can are leaving. This group of Christian missionaries had waited all day for their flight out, each with their own story to tell.
Well, I was inside a home and it started shaking really hard, and the ground was shaking so hard that I couldn't move. Like my whole body was like paralyzed. I was running into the walls, holding onto the walls, and I couldn't take a step. And right before I walked out of the house, a bunch of bricks fell right in front of me right before I ran out. It was really scary.
Millions, though, are left behind in a country that can barely function even without a disaster. It's estimated that tens of thousands of people have been killed. Many of the UN peacekeepers stationed here are also among the dead. This country, so often forgotten by the world, now needs its help more than ever. Matthew Price, BBC News, Haiti.
Well, let's pick up now with Washington and Adam Brooks, our correspondent there. Adam, the President speaking an hour ago, surrounded by his most senior officials, including the Vice President and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, underlining that this is now a massive priority for the US government.
Yeah, it really was a clarion call from President Obama, who spoke directly to Haitian people when he made his address there, saying, in effect, help is on the way, don't lose hope. He said that one of the largest relief efforts in history was now making its way towards Haiti. He said this is a moment that cried out for American leadership. And of course, you know, there really isn't anywhere in the world that can mobilize resources like the United States when it makes up its mind to do so. Elements of the US Army, the 82nd Airborne, are on their way. US Marines are on their way. We're told that one of the key roles that they will be fulfilling is taking control of the airport, setting up air traffic control, and making sure that all those relief flights can start getting in and out safely and efficiently. That's going to be absolutely crucial. There is a US naval hospital ship on its way. That'll take a few days to arrive, but that is a fully equipped floating hospital. And a US aircraft carrier, the Carl Vincennes, we think may arrive later today off the coast of Haiti. That's crucial, of course, because it has lift capacity. You can start using its helicopters to ferry aid around to the remotest bits of the island there. So, yes, and $100 million in immediate aid. So the Americans are very, very keen to be letting the world, and particularly Haitians, know that they are flexing their very considerable muscles on this.
All right, Adam, thanks for that update. After President Obama has spoken, there are around 4 million Haitians living outside their country and waiting for news. Alistair Samford has this from Paris.
After leaving home, many Haitians end up here, mixing with Africans and others from the Caribbean in these back streets of northern Paris. They come seeking a better life and to support those back home. Never has that need been as great as now. But first, they simply want to know their families and friends are alive. This Haitian Community Help Centre has been receiving visitors all day, anxious for news. But it's had virtually no contact with anyone in the country, and there's little information. Exius Esaü is scheduling special programs on the radio station broadcast to the Haitian community from a DVD store in the Paris suburbs. He's in touch with sister stations in the US, but all struggle for first-hand news.
Right now, it's very difficult to talk in Haiti right now because the communication is very badly.
In the absence of information, people do what they can. Several Haitian associations want to act together and are appealing for funds. They say their local contacts can help those in remote areas beyond the reach of the international NGOs. Some intend to fly to Haiti themselves. This man wants to go to try to find his parents and other relatives.
I can be sitting here thinking, but what can I do? Nothing. You're here, you feel powerless. So the only thing you can do is to fly there, and if I have the chance to be able to do that, I'm going to try.
France has been quick off the mark to send aid to the earthquake victims. It has strong historical links with Haiti, not to mention some 1,500 of its own nationals in the country. Many of the tens of thousands of Haitians living here are getting mobilized themselves, but they'll be relying heavily on countries like France and the international community at large. Alistair Sanford, BBC News, Paris.
We were trying to bring you an assessment of the aid effort. We know it's building significantly, and 3,500 US forces are on their way, which is the equivalent to 1 brigade. The US is leading that effort. Shazeb Jilani reports now on the international efforts to meet this massive humanitarian challenge.
Plane loads of rescuers and relief supplies have started trickling in. The United States is taking a lead in sending the biggest rescue teams and pledging funds. A few US aid planes have already landed in Haiti. American naval ships are on their way. But getting to where help is most urgently needed is not easy. Much of Haiti's infrastructure is in ruins. Debris and collapsed buildings are a major obstacle in rescuing those who may still be alive under the rubble.
We are going to need water, food and medicine, because there are a lot of people injured and we have not yet found all of the people buried under their houses. And as we continue with this work, we will need a lot of medications and a lot of help.
The World Bank has announced $100 million of emergency aid. The World Food Programme is working on supplying 15,000 tons of food, and the Red Cross has begun a $10 million appeal. But given the extent of the devastation, that is not enough, according to former US President Bill Clinton.
I have been working in heartbreaking circumstances like this for 3 decades now. What we need now is food, water, supplies for first aid, and shelter.
Halfway across the globe, more expressions of sympathy. Meeting in Vietnam, foreign ministers of Southeast Asian nations pledged support and funds. While resourceful nations work hard to be seen to be helping Haiti, on the streets of Port-au-Prince, the situation remains grim. For many on the ground, to prevent more deaths, it is, quite literally, a race against time. Shazib Dilani, BBC News.
Here in Washington today, President Obama put America squarely in the lead of international relief for Haiti, announcing an operation which ranks as one of the largest in recent history. There is really only one US institution capable of mounting such an effort, the military. Already fighting wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, the Pentagon now is committing ships, planes, helicopters and thousands of soldiers and Marines to a huge new fight, this one meant to save lives. From the ground and the sea and the air, the might of America's military is being mobilized for a new war, a war against the devastating movement of the Earth's tectonic plates. From the Situation Room at the White House, the president planned not the campaign in Afghanistan, but the relief effort in Haiti.
To the people of Haiti, we say clearly and with conviction, you will not be forsaken, you will not be forgotten. In this, your hour of greatest need, America stands with you.
Obama was flanked by his secretaries of state and defense. This is most definitely a military effort of the kind only America can mount. More than 5,000 US troops are being deployed to Haiti. From Fort Bragg, 100 soldiers from the 82nd Airborne have already left. Another 800 leave on Friday.
We are going there in a humanitarian role, and it's refreshing to go with the purpose of helping the country we're going to, helping the people, more of a rescue mission.
Belinda Olivier is Haitian American, but this will be her first visit to her ancestral country.
So it's a gift and a curse in a way, right? A gift that I'm about to provide and a curse that I have to go in an unfortunate situation.
This massive aircraft carrier, the USS Carl Vinson, is also on its way to the disaster zone. It'll be joined by at least 5 other US military vessels, including this one, the USNS Comfort, a Navy hospital.
Secretary of Defense has put the entire focus of the United States Department of Defense on providing relief to the citizens of Haiti. Our hearts go out to them. They've suffered a great deal over a number of years, and we're doing everything we can to mitigate that suffering.